it's Becky DeWitt, and it's time for the second episode of The Pen Talks. Now that you've picked up the pen and you've had time to think about it, it is time to determine the title of your book and the topic that you are going to write about. It's that time. You've had time to think about various things. So, what is the one thing that you may be passionate about that you want to write about? It's time to determine your title. Something to think about, a reader approach. Imagine that you're a reader, and what is it that you have interest in that you would want to read? Say, for instance, if you like gardening, you can write a book on gardening and talk about what you have learned. If you're a farmer, you want to talk about things that you've learned in farming and your crops. Just think about things sometimes from a reader approach. Things that you've learned that you want to share. And just because somebody else has written a book on it, don't think that you don't have what is valuable information to put in the book. You may have that one thing that everybody's looking for. So let's think about a reader approach. Here's something for you. If you can talk about it, you can write about it. What is it that you're talking about? Is it a children's book? Is it family lineage? Or is it a salacious, drama-filled novel that you've got your mind on and wondering and you're weaving characters? You can do this. If you can talk about it, you can write about it. Okay, let's talk about your audience. Who are you writing for? Who do you want to read your book? What is the age? What is the gender? There's so many factors to consider when you have a targeted audience. Think on that when you're thinking about the content as well as your title. Who are you writing for? Is it something that they would want to read? Is it something different? Let's talk about interest and intrigue. Something that piques your curiosity, that you keep turning the pages. What is that topic that you would write about? You don't want to be boring. You want to keep the reader engaged, that they can't wait to read the next chapter after they finish that chapter, okay? You want to keep that flow going. So what do you have that's passionate in your interest from a reader approach that you could write about? Well, one of the things you can use is the headlines today, social media today. There's so much going on that you can take any topic that's out there, look at it, put your twist on it, change names, situations. You can do it. It's called intrigue. So what are you going to do? I think you can do it. All you have to do is just look at it and say, I can write about that. Intrigue. And be interesting. Salacious content. Okay, here we go. What is that thing that you might be passionate about that you could write about? There's so many things that you could write about that you are passionate about. You got to check your passion. It's time for the new. And the reason why I'm calling this the new is because someone may have had a similar title, similar topic, and they've already written a book and it's in print. But think about the time period. They may have done that a decade or 2 decades ago. And what was in that book was relevant to that time period. Now here you are with something new. You've got a new revelation. So do not let that stop you, because you have the idea. You don't know who's going to read it, but don't let the fact that the title or the content or the similarity is already in print. Let me give you a tidbit how something new will come to you. I wrote a book called Faith is Calling You. Well, I started doing little pop-up videos about Faith is Calling You. So guess what happened? When I wrote the book, I did a section called Pause Commercial. In the pause commercial were life experiences, transparent moments. That is what made the book different about faith. Let me go further. After I did the pop-up videos, I created QR codes, went back, took the book down, put the QR codes in, and republished the book. So what happened is when the person read the book, they got the pause commercial, but then they also got the section with the QR code to get another revelation from the book that was written 2 to 3 years ago. So that's why you always have the ability to do something new. Don't let the fact that the book is already out there distract you, hinder you, or sabotage your thought. This is Becky DeWitt, and this has been another episode of The Pen Talks.